Hi friends, I hope you're having a great day. Well, you know winter has officially arrived when you start to find Easter eggs all over your garden. Let's see what's inside this one. Well, whatever was inside has been eaten by earwigs, that's for sure. Well, that's definitely not how I imagined starting today's video. What we're going to be doing today is trialing some cut amaryllis at the stand. We're also going to be continuing to move the compost pile. I need to move a tricolor beech, and then I want to catch you up on the new location for the garden shed and all the awesome work that Josh is getting done. And exciting news, Gracie turns 5 tomorrow. So if you have any suggestions on presents for her, please let me know. So let's just walk back here together. So far we've removed the surround from the compost pile and we've been taking the compost and top dressing all the raised beds. So we'll continue to do that together today. Now we've decided to make a change in the location, and that's purely because of your comments. So I want to thank you so much for your help in regards to this. I think I was really stuck on having the structure over here that I didn't even fully contemplate having it straight ahead, and I also thought it wouldn't fit. But we've decided to remove a few branches from the lilac and now place the garden library or garden cottage straight ahead. And Josh is doing such an amazing job on this project. We're going to have a high-pitched roof, and I believe he already has the roof on. He also already has most of the windows installed from what I've seen. And tomorrow I'm going to be heading over there to get an in-person look at the cottage and also take a look at another shed they built, which is much more modern. So I'm really interested to see that. Also, I found out that his wife Tyler likes amaryllis, so we'll definitely have to take her a bulb or two. So Gracie just walked through the wall of the cottage now. So what we need to do is move this tricolor beech, and I think for now I'm just going to stick it over in the driveway garden. But before we get started on that, let me show you some footage I took 2 days ago when I started to sell cut amaryllis at the flower stand. So I already removed the pollen anthers last night. That's the first thing I always want to do. Amaryllis have a coating along the stem, and when you touch them, it actually takes that coating off and it'll leave a thumbprint or a fingerprint. So I want to try to touch it as little as possible and hold it down as low as possible. So I'll cut it right down here. So let's go ahead and process this amaryllis for our customer. I want to stick a stake up the hollow stem. Amaryllis stems are hollow. I'm just going to use yellow twig dogwood because I have that on hand and it's free. I'm going to stick that up the stem. And once I feel some resistance, I'll stop. Some people like to fill this with water and plug it up with a cotton ball. I don't find that necessary, but you could certainly do that if you like. And now I'll go ahead and tape the base with waterproof tape. And the reason why we want to do that is that the amaryllis stem at the base will start to split and curl upwards. But if we tape it, then it won't have the ability to do that. So this is just waterproof Oasis tape. Just like that. And then I'll stick my hand in the hole as I put it in to keep that cane in place. So here's what we ended up with, friends. We have 3 stems of Lemon Star Amaryllis. We have about 10 stems of Steeplechase Arborvitae, 10 stems of Abelia, and about 7 stems of Red Twig Dogwood. I just used the tissue paper that I always use for my old business, and this ribbon was on sale, buy 1, get 3 free at Michael's last night. So I picked up 4 spools of ribbon. So we'll call this our testing amaryllis day. Just having one out here. It's about 10 o'clock now. I got the stand set up and I think I need to get some Christmas cards out here. So let's see how this goes. So it's 2 days since I took that footage, and for 2 days the bouquet didn't sell. But I really struggled to even set the flower stand up because it was so cold that I had to wait till about 10 or 11 o'clock to set up. And then by 4:30, it's almost dark already. Today, it's much warmer, so I put the same bouquet out one more time. Now all the flowers are fully open, so we'll see if it sells, and then I'm gonna try to do a full flower stand this Saturday. So the number one question I saw in regards to the cottage is whether or not I'm going to heat it. And yes, friends, we are going to be all set up with electricity in there so we can heat and cool it if need be. Someone else had asked about the dimensions of the cottage, and it's going to be 8 by 8 with a pad that's 10 by 10. And the main reason we're not putting a deck over here is that we just simply don't have room for it. But I think a deck would be a really awesome idea. Someone had asked about what color we're going to paint the cottage. As far as the exterior goes, we're going to keep it just with the color of the wood that Josh picked up. And then for the interior, I'm thinking about a beautiful sage green, a gray green, something that won't detract at all from the garden or pull focus into the cottage, but just kind of blend into the surroundings. And the cottage is being built over at Josh's house and then transported over here by some wonderful Amish gentlemen. So if need be, whenever we move, we can transport it to our new forever home. There was a really sweet question about what is the first thing I'm going to put into the cottage. And I really appreciate that question because it helped me think about the interior a lot more, which I shared about earlier this week. I'm not really sure exactly what I want to put on the inside first, but I do have that address plate from my grandma's house, 4996 North Lawn Drive, hence North Lawn Flower Farm. But I would really like to put that on the exterior of the shed, right next to the front door. Ideally, I would like the chairs and the furniture inside the shed to be from consignment stores or antique stores, so we'll probably go shopping for those things together. So I think that's probably the first thing we'll do. We'll probably get the chairs in there first, because I think what I might need to do is save up a little longer before I can put the custom bookshelves in. So we're probably going to have it just as a shell of a structure for at least a few months before we can get started on the interior. I really appreciated your comments about the espalier tree frame that I was originally going to put around the cottage. And friends, I have to tell you, to be honest with you, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this. I would say nothing is really set in stone. Everything could change except for the structure itself, because that's been agreed on. But you see, we're even changing the location here. And so the comment really said, do I really want to create a lot of maintenance for myself back by the cottage, when I had just mentioned the other day that I kind of need to scale it back in terms of maintenance? And I really, really appreciated that comment. So what are we going to do back by the cottage? I think the answer is, I don't really know. And I probably need to take some time to really think about that, and to think about not just the picture that I want to create, but the maintenance that I'm willing to do and that I have time to do. All right, so I got a layer of compost spread over all the raised beds. Let's head inside for a second, because I have lots of amaryllis in bloom that I want to show you, and then we'll go ahead, check on the flower stand and see if we sold anything. So you're greeted by Spartacus as soon as you come in. Isn't this an amazing amaryllis? I never really liked Minerva because it was red and white, but I think it wasn't the red and white that I didn't like, it was the orange red. And this Spartacus is just gorgeous. More of a blue red, nicer streaking on it too, I think. This one I'm really loving. This is new to me and it's called Double Dragon. This one came from McClure and Zimmerman, which is a division of Jung Seed, and really happy with this bulb. I think this bulb bloomed in 2 to 2.5 weeks. If I had to choose between Double Dragon and Double King, definitely Double Dragon is a nicer red. We've got a whole bunch of Magical Touch Amaryllis on the mantle this year. And we've got some Amaryllis here, some here, more over here. And then we have Grace eating my hairbrush. Grace, is that an early birthday present to yourself? I'll take that as a yes. Still no sales at the flower stand, but you can see just how much these have opened up in 2 days, and I've just been continuing to remove the pollinanthers. In my mind, I think the hardest thing about selling cut amaryllis is that if the customer isn't familiar with how long cut amaryllis lasts, I'm not sure that they're going to see the value. So I'm not sure if I need to maybe put some signage out there that says just how long cut amaryllis will last, because I've seen some almost last a month long. No exaggeration on that at all. But the main thing is I have to get them to stop before they even read the signage. So if you have any thoughts for me on this, let me know. Maybe I need to add some wreaths and some greenery out there, another reason to stop at the stand versus just putting out flowers like I always do. Anyway, definitely a learning process when it comes to cut amaryllis. The other thing I want to get done today is to prune this particular panicle hydrangea. We can prune panicle and smooth hydrangeas in the spring or the fall. It's really a matter of preference. I usually like to do a spring pruning, but as long as the plant is dormant and it's a panicle or a smooth hydrangea, it's totally fine to prune it in late fall as well. And I'm going to prune it exactly the same as I would in early spring. I'm going to take each branch down by a third and prune it right above a really big set of nodes. I'm also going to remove any dead and diseased wood. And I'm going to remove anything really small and spindly all the way back to a main branch. Also, when I have two branches like this that are very close together and rubbing up on each other, it can often cause a wound, and that can be a good entrance point for disease. So I want to go ahead and prune it so that these are no longer touching and rubbing together. It's easier to see the nodes in the spring, but you can see them in the fall. They're the two little dots that appear on the side of the branch. This is good for now, and it accomplishes my purpose, which is that it allows us to see the gourd tree that we're going to be working on in just a few days. All right, friends, well, I think I'm going to wrap up today's video here because my alarm went off to head to parent pickup. I'll update you on the screen onto whether or not that amaryllis arrangement sold, and I'll see you sometime really soon to do the dried flower gourd tree, which I'm so excited about. We'll do a full flower stand and lots more shed content to come. Bye, friends.